What's up? DSP here with a update for everyone. Kind of a status update on everything that's going on right now. And also some good stuff's happened, some not so good stuff's happened. I want to give everyone, I know everyone's been on the edge of their seat wondering what's been going on this week. So here's the deal. If you saw my last official update on this, on the TKOHHD regarding the situation with Blip TV, yes, it was discovered that there were not actually one, but it's actually now been discovered that there were 2 complaints put against me for 2 specific videos that were on Blip TV. Both of them, the complaints were geared towards racial stereotype humor, and it was determined that they were not valid claims, they were from trolls. However, Blip TV reviewed the videos and said, well, alright, now, yeah, okay, we're glad we gave you this information first of all, because basically now they know that if those people make any more complaints that they're not legitimate. So they've already flagged those accounts, they know what's going on with that on Blip TV. But unfortunately, Blip TV's position is, listen, it's a complaint, even if it wasn't a valid complaint, we reviewed the material, yes, this could be considered as like racy or, you know, risque humor, and therefore, unfortunately, our decision stands. Basically, I just want to let everyone know, Eric, who was my contact at Blip there talking back and forth for the past week regarding this, was very, very polite in his second follow-up email. Even the tone was different from the first email. He basically said, Phil, thanks for bringing all this to our attention. Unfortunately, the situation is what it is. I did as much as I could for you. You're still getting paid, and I gave you that week's notice before your stuff got deleted. And other cases, basically what he was saying is, in other cases, if he hadn't like stepped in the way he had, everything would have just got deleted. I wouldn't have got paid, and I would have been screwed. But he basically intervened, and that's why I got the week. That's why we got this week to do the research to figure out what exactly happened, and I am still going to be getting paid for everything I did in December. So, that's good news. But unfortunately, the bad news is, yeah, as of Wednesday, I'm gone from Blip. Everything is off of Blip. All my videos are getting deleted. So what does this mean? Well, of course you know me. I don't just sit on my ass. I'm not just going to sit here and mope or be angry or whatever. I've had the gears in motion. And I'm pleased to announce that I did have a phone conversation with another third-party company. And basically the gist of the plan is to attempt to get my channels on YouTube, which have never been partnered before, meaning, you know, as you know, DSP Gaming, DSP Street Fighter, even my original Dark Side Phil channel, I had tried many times to get those channels partnered with YouTube and Google, and they always denied it. Well, I was contacted by this company. Well, actually, I contacted them, but they've been working with me over the past week, and we had a very, very pleasant phone conversation today. It looks like, as long as everything works out, which I actually have a couple questions, I did actually, you know, have a preliminary discussion. I had questions before I signed anything, which I'm still waiting for an answer on, and I'm hoping we can get this all ironed out by next week. But fingers crossed, if everything works out well, here's how it's going to work. You go to DSP Gaming and DSP Street Fighter to watch my new stuff, just like you always have. DSP Gaming will have all the new playthroughs of games. DSP Street Fighter is going to have all the new fighting game footage, included full coverage of Marvel vs. Capcom 3 when it comes out. Not only will I be playing that competitively here and trying to learn it and maybe do some tutorials and things like that hardcore here at home, but I'm actually going to start traveling to tournaments, whether they're local tournaments, the EVO tournament series leading up to Evolution this summer. I'm extremely interested in that. So you're going to see that kind of stuff over on DSP Street Fighter. So the good news is, you don't have to leave YouTube. You don't have to go try to figure out how to use a third-party site. It's all going to be basically on YouTube. So that's the good news. And what's going to happen is, basically, DSP Gaming and DSP Street Fighter will be partnered, which means you're going to see ads on the videos. So that's great news. I did, you know, I have been doing research, you know, looking over the paperwork and everything. It seems to me the reason that this works out for everyone is because obviously, you know, this company makes out by doing this with me. They're going to make some money, and I'm going to make some money. And I actually did the rough math. And I said, gee, if I had signed up, if I had done this starting in April, when I created DSP Gaming and DSP Street Fighter, April of 2010, I did the math and I said, alright, well the truth is, you know, you're always going to have clicks, or not, I'm sorry, not clicks, views that aren't considered, you know, valid The same thing happened with Blip TV, which we talked about. If you're in certain countries, you're not valid for the program. If you're watching on a mobile device and you can't see the ads, obviously that isn't covered by like an AdSense program. So I tried to like take roughly 1/5. I said, all right, let's say out of all the views that I get on these channels, 1/5 of these were invalid. Okay, so I took out 1/5 of the total views from DSP Gaming and DSP Street Fighter for the past year, since I started in April of last year, and I looked at it and I said, well, as long as these numbers can stay consistent, and keep in mind that actually there was a very strong dip in the number of views on DSP Street Fighter when I stopped playing Super Street Fighter 4, and then also on DSP Gaming in the month of December when I brought everything over to Blip TV. Well, if I stay on these channels and focus on them, I think I can make this work. Now, like I said, keep in mind this is preliminary. That's why I don't want to tell you who the company is. I don't want to, start doing backflips or whatever, because we've been here before twice already. It was like we had a high, then we had a low with AdSense kicking me out, then we had a high with Blip, then we had a low, now with Blip kicking me out. Well, this is looking pretty solid for a couple reasons. First of all, the partnership's not in my name. It's in the name of this third-party company. So if there's any problems, YouTube's going to deal with them, not with me. And me being the little guy, I have absolutely no power, no weight when it comes to talking with YouTube, so they can literally just kick me to the curb, which is exactly what they did, without any discussion. Chances are, when dealing with a company, they're not going to do that. They're going to go and talk and legally say what happened here, blah, blah, blah. Number two, the thing that has always been a problem for me since I've been doing game playthroughs on YouTube is false copyright claims. I've been getting them, and I dispute them when I can. I take care of them when I can. But it looks like this company is extremely good at working with gaming companies. So for example, if you remember last year when I did Red Dead Redemption, I was so afraid of doing the footage because everyone was hearing rumors that people who were doing Red Dead Redemption were getting shut down or getting copyright strikes. I had a conversation with this company, and they said, well, Phil, the reason that was happening is Rockstar has no problem letting you do the gameplay, but Rockstar really hates when you reveal the cutscenes and the story of their games. They like that to be kind of held back. So, for example, if you were to do a playthrough of that game, you would either have to do it on a new channel without this partnership, if you wanted to do the full playthrough, or you could do it on DSP Gaming, but you'd have to abide by the rules, meaning whenever a cutscene started, you have to stop recording, and then you could start recording again when the gameplay actually starts. I said, this is freaking great. I wish I had known that for all these games, where I was always afraid, like Final Fantasy 13, I was afraid I was going to get shut down, and I was flipping out about it. And this company has the clout and the contacts with the game developers to be able to talk to them and figure out what's allowed and what's not. That's what I've never had. I've always been the little individual guy just trying to have fun, and then I get harassed, I get false copyright claims, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to defend myself. So this is, it looks, again, at the first glance, first looking at a contract, first talking with these guys, it looks amazing. So that's all I can tell you right now. I haven't agreed to anything yet. I haven't signed anything yet, but the initial discussion was great. Like I said, I had a couple particular questions which I need to get ironed out with these guys. Once I do, it's looking like this thing will move rather fast. What I'm actually hoping, which I have no idea if this is even possible, but what I'm really hoping for is, as you know, next week, Dead Space 2 comes out. I think lots of people are looking forward to me playing that game, and I think that is going to probably end up being, despite it not being in fourth quarter, because fourth quarter, as you know, is when there's all the major releases are coming out this year. I mean, you got Mass Effect 3, you got Uncharted 3, you got Oblivion 5, you've got, there's 100 games coming out. Besides all those coming out in the fourth quarter, I think that Dead Space 2 is probably one of the biggest games of the year that people are going to want to see. I'm hoping we maybe can get this working by then. In that case, when you go to watch my videos on DSP Gaming, you're going to see ads, and rather than saying, Phil, why do I see ads on DSP Gaming? Did someone put a copyright strike against this video? I can say, no, I actually get something out of it for once. All these years, since I started on YouTube with Darkside Phil, I've been trying to get it partnered. It was no. Then I made DSP Gaming, and it was no. I actually tried with DSP Street Fighter. And by the way, just so everyone knows, Capcom, as a company, is one of the most cooperative companies there are when it comes to gameplay footage. Capcom wants competitive players to record their matches and put them online, because that promotes the fighting games. They absolutely love the fact that I recorded Street Fighter 4 as much as I did, because as you saw, a lot of people got into it for the first time because they were watching me play it. They saw how I enjoyed it. They saw how much fun I was having. They went out and got the game, and that's the whole idea that Capcom wants to do. They want to propagate. People, please go ahead, record your matches, put them online. Obviously, don't do it before the street date of the game coming out, but as long as you wait till the game's legally out and then you put your matches up, they love it. So, DSP Street Fighter, since I opened that channel, I've been trying to make it a partner channel, and YouTube said, no, 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 no. So this is finally the opportunity to actually get something out of DSP Gaming and DSP Street Fighter, and the great news is, you, the fans and viewers, don't have to do anything extra. You don't have to go crazy, out of your way to do anything. You don't have to leave YouTube. It's all going to be where it's always been, and I'm now going to have time to focus on it. I think this is really going to work out well. And if this does work out the way that I've projected, and again, this was me sitting down for 5 minutes crunching numbers, but if it does work the way that I've projected, without any real results to judge of, I think I might be able to do some of the stuff I wanted to do this year. So that means I might be able to go to a bunch of tournaments. I may be able to go to EVO, which I'm really hoping I can go to. E3 at this point is still up in the air because it is so freaking expensive. Let me give you an idea, okay? First of all, E3 doesn't let anyone in, just anyone. They say it's a press event. Now, if I start working for this company, we're not working for, let me not put that, but if I have a partnership with this company, I could probably get my foot in the door and say, listen, I'm representing them and I'm covering this event. But guess how much money it is to get into E3? It's $400 a head. So you figure if I go, let's say, obviously I need someone to go with me, so I take, let's say, Rambo with me, then plane tickets plus all that, plus hotel. Hotels are extremely expensive because they jack up the prices that weekend on purpose. It's going to be insane. So, I was really thinking about doing it. I'm still thinking about doing it, but I really don't know if it would be worth it. But anything else, like all these tournaments leading up to Evolution, some maybe local gaming events, like I saw there was 1 or 2 gaming conventions coming up that are actually in the Northeast that I'm considering going to. Those are the kind of things that I might be able to go to if this works out. So, like I said, I'll keep everyone in the loop. The bottom line is Blip TV is out as an option. Looks like this is really looking good and positive right now, and it's looking good. It's good. It's like we had a low. Oh, now we might be turning back to the high again, and we'll have to see what happens. So it's like that. It's like a freaking sound wave or a heartbeat monitor. I don't know what's going on, but so far it's looking good. So I will let everyone know how it goes if I do end up signing with these guys, and obviously you'll know because once it gets activated, any new videos that I upload are going to have ads on them, and you don't have to question me and say what's going on. You'll know it's because I've been partnered. But the other good news is there is the possibility that some of my older videos on those channels may also be able to be qualified for this program. So even if you watch old footage, if you have an inkling, I want to watch Mass Effect 2 again, I might, it might benefit me. So we'll see what happens. I can't, like I said, I don't want to talk too much about it until my questions are answered and I do decide to do it, and then obviously I will be singing the praises of this company. But we'll see what happens and we'll go from there. As of right now, I'm continuing on with Little Big Planet 2. I'm going to beat the single player campaign, but also John Rambo is going to try to make it, and we'll see if we can actually do some co-op gameplay of that as well. The single player campaign is co-op, plus there's versus maps where we can play against each other, plus there's actually some exclusive maps which I haven't even figured out how to do it yet, but some maps that use the PS Move with them, so I'd like to see if we can figure that out too. Besides that, we're going to be working on East Coast Customs Round 3 joysticks. I talked about the art. We're going to try to get the art printed out. It all depends on how the weather is. So if the weather's good, we'll go print the artwork out. If the weather's crappy, well, we probably won't get to do it then. But we're hoping to get those done over the course of the next week so that we can show them to you and we can actually get them up for sale on eBay. So, alright, that's pretty much it for now. So, again, I know how dramatic this is. I know what a ride it's been. So, I apologize, but this is what happens when you try to be a pioneer like me and you're trying to be one of the first people who's turning something like a YouTube career into, that's just that, a career rather than just a hobby that you do on the side. You're going to have things going on like this, and it's going to have high highs and low lows. And I apologize that I can't give you too much information. I can't speak too much about what's going on until it's set in stone. Even then, I'm not going to be able to give you like technical details. I know people all the time used to ask me, how much do you make when to earn this program? I can't tell you that. That's crazy. That's divulging a company's payment structure and stuff like that. I can't do that. That's ridiculous. I can't even tell you how it works. All I can tell you is go watch my videos. That's all I ask of you. That's all I ever wanted from anyone, was just to watch my content, enjoy it, participate with the fans on my website, TKOHD.com, talk with them in the chat, go there and feedback. I love good feedback. Leave comments, tell your friends about it, and I think if this works, I think this might be the ideal, because I'm going to be doing what I was doing previous to all this blip, previous to the we're caring about the King of Hate HD as a partner channel. I'm just going to be focusing on the gaming, which I think is what everyone wanted in the first place. And that's not to say that I'm going to stop doing vlogs, which now I know they're called vlogs, not vlogs. Now I'm not going to necessarily stop doing silly stuff like cooking with the King. I still have 1 or 2 videos of those. I still have a couple DSP tries that I filmed that I just haven't had a chance to put up. It doesn't mean I'm going to stop those. It just means I have to feel so pressured to pump them out, so many in a week. I can focus mostly on gaming, which is what I wanted to do in the first place. So that's good. Rather than having to focus on something that I may not be as good at, I can focus on what I'm good at, and that's what's going to benefit me in the long run. So that's great, and I really hope it works out. But I will let you know. But anyway, wanted to get the good news out there, even though it isn't set in stone. It is good news that at least I'm in talks, and we're not just sitting here on our hands trying to figure out what the hell we're going to do. And that's that. So once more information is available, I'll let you know. A couple quick things. There will be another Don't Blow This Super Turbo Revolution stream this Sunday, starting at 2 p.m. as long as there's no insane bad weather. And from what I'm to hear, we're getting snow on Friday, not on Saturday or Sunday, so we should be good. Be sure to check that out on don'tblowthis.com, and obviously I'll talk a little bit more about that later in the week, and I'll tweet about it as well. Also remember that this Thursday, this Thursday I'm doing the first Ask the King since the very beginning of the new year. The only reason I haven't been able to do one is first I was doing my Game of the Year awards, which I was so time consumed with, I didn't have time to do an Ask the King, and then everything that happened with Blip, obviously that threw a monkey wrench into the plan. So now finally we're going to get to, we're going to get to do an Ask the King. If you want to ask me questions, you want them answered, submit your questions on kingofhate.com. There is a forum section that's called Ask the King. You submit your question there. I read all those the day that I film, and then I pick the ones that I feel like I want to answer. And then also, remember, the day of, I put up on Twitter opportunity for you to post your questions, and then I try to answer those as well. So that is pretty much it for this week anyway. And hoping that everything can work out for next week for Dead Space 2, but we'll see. So anyway, I'm DSP. Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed the update. Feeling positive again, feeling good. This is good stuff, positive vibe. Let's keep it going. Thanks a lot.